Hi, I'm Rosie. Welcome to my channel and a little June vlog. I had a lot on in June and I just thought I'd bring you along for the ride. So grab a project, get cozy, grab a drink and join me for all the bits and bobs I got up to in June. Hello, today we are making the chanterelle trousers. I'm making the barrel leg version. They come in a sort of straight wide leg and then a shorts version as well. I've never made this pattern. I sort of just searched on this pattern website, the Folded Line, and these came up and they were exactly what I wanted, so I'm gonna try and make them. I have already cut out all of my pattern pieces. I am very excited because I really love this fabric. I got it in Hobbycraft a while ago, kind of impulsively. I think I had a voucher, it's fine. And I just knew I couldn't pass it up, and I envisioned it in a pair of trousers. So that's what we're gonna make. I also am gonna make this pattern, providing it goes well this first time. I want to make this pattern multiple times, so I think that's what this video is going to be. I have some more fabric that I will probably make into it. Oh dear, oh look, cut out these tiny squares of interfacing and dropped them everywhere. I think there's supposed to be 4 and I have 3. Oh dear. Anyway, it's an evening in the middle of the week, so I'm going to get started and just slowly make my way through. I think I will check in with you when I think it's interesting. I am designing a cardigan. I am using Drop Spell copious notes. This is just one of many pages, and also many swatches. I feel like I'm suddenly really appreciating designers. Like, I've seen some share their process and always been like, how do you just knit that? I don't know, because I needed to know going in that what I was doing worked. Maybe they just have so much knitting experience that they know what's going to work and what's not. Whereas I, for example, needed to test knitting these corners together. I don't know if you can see that. And I think my conclusion is that it would just be way neater and more accurate to sew these down rather than knitting them, which is a shame because I'm impatient and don't like sewing. But hey, I also tested this little lacy pattern and then decided that the lacy bits needed to be way further apart. And then I've got my raglan increase with a little cable, which I got from a stitch book that I own, and it's so cute. I realized that the rate of diagonality of these is different to this, and so I have to change that. It's fun playing around. I'm enjoying just playing around. Oh, and now I'm going to block them. Hello, let me show you what I am working on this month. Ooh, I'm feeling hay fevery for the first time in a long time. Weird thing with starting ADHD medication, somehow my hay fever also got a lot less. Like, normally by this time of year I'm dying and on antihistamine every day. This is the first day that I've taken antihistamine this year, and we're into June, a third of the way into June. Be interested to know if anyone else has had that experience. But let me show you what I'm working on this month so far. Firstly, we have a very long-term whip. I've been working on these for months, but I am determined this is the month I'm going to finish them. This is the month I'm going to finish them. That being said, I think I made a mistake. I need to get back a few rows, but that's fine. Not the first time. And also I might not have. I've not checked the chart, but I think I have. I was just confidently going without the chart because I couldn't be able to get it out. But these are the Turning Point socks. If you see my knitting podcast, I've talked about them. I'm knitting them for my husband. I was doing them 2 at a time, and then I always, when I'm doing 2 at a time, do the heel flap and gusset, just one sock, and then switch to the other sock, and then I've just sort of kept going. Doing the heel flap and gusset again felt like a big task. I've done the heel flap and heel turn, I just haven't done the gusset on the other one. I do need to do that, but what I might do is finish this sock, because then I will know that it fits and all of that before doing the second sock. And I'm quite enjoying working on the little shorties. The other thing is that once I finish these, I can cast on the chicken socks, which I have been holding off casting on for so long, and I'm so excited to make them, but I need some yarn from these socks in order to do them. So if I finish one, I might know whether I'm good for yarn or not. I've promised myself I'll finish these before I cast on the chicken socks. So those are those. Oh my gosh, I'm so sniffy. So the other thing I'm working on is a major impulse project, but I'm very excited about it. And whilst I try and finish things, all of that, I also really like playing around, and sometimes if you get an idea, it is good to let yourself enjoy that. So that's what I'm doing. I started off with a swatch. I had a vision in my head, so I ordered some drop spell. This is my first time working with it. I've heard good things. To be honest, I have enjoyed it so far. I ordered something like 13 balls of this, which I think is a little bit over what I would need, because I want to make a summer cardigan. But initially I was going to follow a pattern, and so I looked at the yardage for a couple of patterns that I was interested in, but none of them really felt like what I was envisioning. I've wanted to self-draft a cardigan for a while, and I recently bought a book that is all of the maths for doing top-down sweaters, but also it has the instructions for cardigans in it, and so I'm going to use that and other resources to try and do this. But what I wanted was this little eyelet stitch on it, somewhat inspired by this cardigan, by this jumper even, by Kuda Kika in her knits to wear book that I have. It wasn't quite what I wanted to make, but I did think about it for this project. I've done so many swatches so far because I need the information in order to, I guess, write myself a pattern is kind of what I'm planning on doing. So these are my lace pattern swatches, and then my just regular stockinette swatch. I wanted the eyelets slightly further apart, which is why I've got 2 of these. I'm still wondering if I want them even further apart, and I wanted to swatch both the raglan increases that I'm doing, which I've got a cute little cable going on for, which I'm absolutely in love with. I love it so much. But also I wanted to test 2 different edges. I also then realized that it really annoys me that the eyelets don't quite line up with the increases, so I'm gonna have to change the placement of the little lacy bits to match that so that it is parallel between them. I don't know if you can really see or tell that, but I have a vision in my head. The other thing I wanted to test on this was how I was going to do the ribbing, the cuffs, etc., because I didn't want to do ribbing. There are 2 options that I have, and I can also sort of combine them, which I'm thinking about. One of them is this cute little picot edge, which is done essentially just by knitting the same to do these, but all the way along a row and then folding it over. And I really love how it came out where I did it continuously at the bottom from the already active stitches. I'm okay with how it looks down this edge, but at the top it's just really bulky where I picked up stitches to do it. So I think if I go with this, I'd have to do it either first or a provisional cast on, but I don't know how. This is a cotton linen blend. I know it's going to soften up and stretch with time, and so I know that might mean that it stretches out. I also wanted to test different ways of doing the corners, and so here I've just straight joined it, and I actually don't hate that. Initially I thought I wasn't going to like it, but I don't hate it. But then here I've sort of picked up and decreased as I joined. I don't know how to describe it. It's sort of done what I wanted it to, but it's not very neat, and I actually think it would just be way easier to do it neatly by sewing them together. Then my other option is a little crochet scallop edge, which I do really like and has like a lightness to it, but I think it's just a bit overwhelming. I don't know, I think it's just a bit much. Part of me thinks maybe it's just that it's a small swatch. It's a bit too frilly for what I was envisioning. I do really love it, maybe for a different project, but I think this is closer to the clean vibe I wanted to go with some adjustments. This is probably what I'm gonna do. The other thing is, I posted this on my stories, but I think this looks like ravioli. I love that. People agreed and also said they loved it. So this may become the ravioli cardigan because it's the right color. That's, I think, the thing is that it's definitely ravioli colored. But that's what I'm working on knitting wise. And then I'll quickly show you. I am sewing a pair of trousers. These are the chanterelle pants. I'm doing the pants and doing the barrel leg cut in this lovely sunflower fabric, which I'm very excited about, but just haven't had much time to sit down at my sewing machine so far this month. I also then yesterday thrifted a white t-shirt that I am going to dye off white and do some sort of design on the front. I really want to do some graphic t-shirts, so that's what I'm working on at the moment. I'm going to my grandparents for the weekend. It's both Father's Day and my granddad's birthday, and so I've slightly impulsively decided to bring some gift knits that I fully plan on finishing and gifting this weekend. Firstly, my grandparents just got a new cat called Timmy. He's 6 months old, so not quite tinykin, but still definitely baby cat. And so I'm gonna try and make him a little mouse. I've got this really fluffy yarn. I noticed all of the pictures of him with the toys that he likes are really fluffy, so I'm gonna do that. I've got some little sacks of catnip that I'm gonna put in as well. And then I'm gonna try and make these little fish pouches. We'll see how it goes. We'll see where I finish. It should be a nice weekend either way.
Wait, what's a bad post?
Isn't cringy. Oh, I can only think of cringy ones. Here's where we're up to with the fish pouch. I didn't really think about the fact that it would probably need blocking, so it may be gifted unblocked. I'm hoping when I fold down the top to make the little channel for the I-cord that will sort of fix the issue. But I've been making the I-cord. I've just got I got this I think in a stocking when I was like 8 or 9. It's my little, I think I called it Russian knitting doll, I'm not sure, but making my long I-cord, which is, it's a little bit more mindful than just knitting it. I've been enjoying it. It does take a bit longer though, but I ran out of this yarn like completely at this point, so that's just going to be where the channel opening is, and I'll have to use this other yarn to stitch it down. I think it's really cute. I will definitely be making more of these. okay with knickers and I'm here and actress like that.
Wow, look at these beautiful ladies.
Having the chat. I like this so I'm in London staying with my parents because my friend is over from Canada for a couple of days. Yeah, it's been really fun. Yesterday we went to Beautiful Knitters in Pimlico. Yes, I bought some stuff. I also went to McCulloch and Wallace when we were on Oxford Street, but didn't get anything, which is good because I spent a bit in Beautiful Knitters. Let me show you what I got. I'll show you my knitting progress in a second as well. Got a cute tote bag. I love these, they're so cute. I feel like this would be really good for doing a design on the back, so I might do that because I'm going to play around some more with my fabric inks and stamps when I get home because a load of them have arrived. So I'm excited for that. I'm going home tomorrow morning. To the yarn. Firstly, I got another skein of this, which I have one of for my catnip sweater, and I was going to also get the other colour I have because I think I'm probably going to need more than I bought originally, and this is Earth Yarns in the colour Smoke. So I was going to get the other colour of this, however they didn't have it. I instead found this gorgeous hank, which is just it's a very similar colour to the other one, and it's also lace weight, although I think it's maybe slightly fluffier. I think what I'm going to swatch next is holding this and this together. This is Zakami. It's hand-dyed in Edinburgh, which is, yeah, it's very pretty. This is baby Suri alpaca silk. So it is very soft. It's really nice and soft, which this also is, but this is like the softest mohair I've ever felt. Like it doesn't feel bad next to skin, but this is just completely fine next to skin. So I got those for my catnip sweater that I've been working on, except I've not been working on. I need to do another swatch of that. However, I did also get, this is so beautiful. This is kind of my first self-purchase of a pretty skein for the prettiness of it, but I saw it last time I was in Beautiful Knitters and I've just been thinking about it. So look, it's a sock set. I don't know if I will use this for the contrast, heel and toe and stuff, for a sock because I kind of just love this. I don't, it will go in my mini skeins collection, but look how gorgeous. Just it someone said it looks like strawberry ice cream, which yes, it definitely does. It's also rhubarb and custard was mentioned, but yeah, it's the camel's yarn. Oh, it's called Peaches and Pastry, that makes sense. Yeah, and it's 75% blue face leicester and 25% nylon. It's a 4-ply superwash yarn. It's just gorgeous. It's so pretty. So very excited. I think this will either be a plain vanilla sock, or I did think the Midnight Dancer socks would look really cute in this, and those are on my queue. So, but for now, honestly, this is probably going to go on display in my craft. I hang up somewhere because it's so pretty. Yeah. So I've been knitting a reasonable amount, not like loads and loads, just whenever we're sort of sat somewhere. We sat in the park yesterday, so I did some then and things like that. I've mostly been knitting on these socks. I'm still at about where the toe will start on this one, so I've been working on the other one. I have made some progress. It doesn't feel like a lot, but I've done the decreases, so now I'm just working through the chart until I get to the same point I am on this one, and then I will do the toes, which is exciting because then they're done. I do think the sensible thing to do would be to block this one, and I will know how much it's going to grow by and all of that, and I should probably do that. I could do that today. I could go wash it now and leave it out in the sun. It will be dry in like an hour because it's very warm. It does feel very weird to be working with wool or even thinking about wool in this heat wave. Like yesterday in the shop, I was like, I really, really love I really, really love this yarn, but the idea of it right now is just slightly off-putting. I don't know why. And I was like, yes, the idea of warm socks in this weather is not it. But I'm very glad I got it because it's so pretty. I'm back in Brighton. It's nice to be home, especially when you have packages to open. A couple of exciting things. Firstly, I finished the socks. These are literally freshly cast off an hour or two ago, so I haven't blocked them yet. I did mid-block this one to check that it wouldn't grow too much or anything crazy. I haven't properly blocked them. I didn't stretch it out or anything particularly, which I don't think I'm going to. They do fit and they're nice and snug, so I'm very pleased. There's a couple of mistakes. Firstly, I realised when I got to the decrease sections that one of the toes I'd missed a decrease at the ankle, so has like 2 extra stitches, I think, but you can't tell. Because of that, I'm not sure the decreases on the toes are the same either, but again, you can't tell. And because there's negative ease, they'll stretch to the point that they're supposed to. So it's fine. But I love them. I think they're so pretty. They're going to be special occasion socks for my husband, really, because they're so lovely. And I spent 3 months making them, but I don't think they're going to get worn until maybe September. But I have cast them off, so that's very exciting. And I did have yarn left over, which I want for my chicken sock project. So hopefully that should be plenty because it's just the beaks I need it for. I did cast something else on, and that is another camisole number 9 in some cotton yarn from Sostengren, which I am excited about and I think will be a good, very mindless project, which would normally be my sock project, but I'm going to cast on the chicken socks, which will not be a mindless sock project, I don't think, because it's my first time properly. It'll be hopefully my first finished object with colour work, which is very exciting. Now, I bet you're wondering, you're probably not, but I bet you are wondering, what is in the parcels? I have a project in mind. I have been wanting to make some graphic tees. Initially, I was exploring designing them, getting them printed, or getting into screen printing. But my issue is I don't have the artistic skills to bring to life what I envision with drawing. I can draw, but I can't draw to an extent that I can realize what I want to. So I am experimenting with some other ways of making graphic tees, and the one that I am very excited about at the moment is I went on Vinted and bought a bunch of stamps. I thought I would open these so we could see them together. This first one, this is just perfect. I really love like the frame styles you'll have seen. It's a very big, popular kind of artwork at the moment. It's on everything, and that's one of the things I want to try and emulate, along with like stamps and postcard styles I've always really liked. But these are just really pretty little corner embellishments. They actually remind me a bit of Frozen, which is kind of cute. They will be perfect. I think I've ordered quite a few, so I should go through them quicker. Nothing more need to be said. Oh, this one I'm excited about. So this has like the stamps, and then also the stamps that would go over the stamps to say that the stamp has been used, which is so cool. Oh my gosh, these are so cool. Ooh, oh, these are so pretty. Oh, I'm so happy this is a really good size as well for what I want to do. But it's a house and I want to do like a cheesy home is phrase, but like probably a knitting version. Wow. And then, wow. I think I've said wow a lot. As a child, I won actually in a radio competition, a flower fairy book, and it was the most gorgeous thing with like little interactive things about information about fairies. And this, I think, is the same, or it looks very similar to the style in that book. Oh my gosh. No, it is this book. It's the book that I had as a kid. That's on there. That is the book. I mean, I have it somewhere. Yeah, it's literally over there. Wait. This is the book that I had as a kid. A lot of them are really well worn because I used to go through this book all the time. Oh, and there's little letters. It takes me back. But yeah, this is the same. Oh, these are so pretty. Wow, I'm so excited to start doing these t-shirts. I've been trying to thrift the t-shirts to do this with, and I've only got one so far. Butterfly sunflowers, which are my favorite flower. We had them at our wedding, so they mean a lot to me. Some more sunflowers. Oh, and would you look at that? Some more sunflowers. And then some little floral frame styles. And then I really liked the clocks. I thought they looked cool. There you have it. I'm gonna need to perfect my stamping method because I played around with a couple of stamps I already had. Some of them worked better than others. Whether I need to get a different kind of ink or what, we'll see. Hello. It is a Monday, but I have the day off work to sort of rest and recuperate after a very busy couple of days. I had a great time seeing my friends and doing stuff, but I think if I had gone back to work today, I would have just been absolutely exhausted all week. So I had a good night's sleep, a little bit of a lie-in for me. I'm gonna go take some stuff to a charity shop and also see if I can find any more plain t-shirts for making graphic tees. I'm gonna take you with me to do that. I'm back from town. I got some bits. I actually didn't have that much luck in the charity shops. I dropped off mine at the first one I came to, my stuff, and then I had a look in 3 or 4 on the way and none of them had anything. I think I'm starting to determine, having been on the lookout for plain white t-shirts for a while, that they just don't really exist in secondhand, certainly not in charity shops or vintage shops. And I can understand that, like, white isn't always gonna, like, it stains easily and all of that. So a little bit disappointing, but I did manage to find some in TK Maxx, and I also got some fabric paint. This was only £6, so I thought, why not give this one a go as well. These ones are a bit more substantial than the other ones I've got. And I also got, in a different shop, a roller, because I've been using a sponge to apply to the stamps, and you can see the texture, and so I think I needed something that wasn't going to absorb the paint to try. So that's exciting. I also got some heat erasable pens because I want to be able to sketch out designs and plan them out on the t-shirt, and then I have to iron them anyway, so I think this is going to be a really good way to do that because it'll just disappear with the heat. Then Tiger actually had these, which I've seen them smaller ones, but more letter stamps. The ones that have been working on the fabric better, which might change with this roller, but the ones that have been working on the fabric better have definitely been the rubber stamps as opposed to the acetate maybe, but the clear plastic ones. And I'm hoping these are rubber ones. Yeah, these are rubber ones, so these will be really cute. They're a little bit small for, like, if I want to do slogans or anything, but I think they'll work for, like, little letters. And then I got some color remover because I'm kind of hoping to fix, if you've seen my making a few things for my summer wardrobe video, I dyed everything in my wardrobe that was white, off-white essentially, and some things came out a bit patchy, so I'm gonna try and remove it and then hopefully be able to re-dye it. But what I'm going to do now, because the white t-shirts that I bought have just finished washing, I'm going to dye them off white because I don't want to do that once I've already put the designs on. I'm going to do it in the bath this time because I've done it a couple times in the washing machine and I've just had issues. And then I also got some ribbon in Tiger because I have been seeing like ribbons with like long stems and I want to put more ribbons in my hair. And it's June, Brighton Pride. I don't think it's maybe till August, but I might be thinking that might be wrong off the top of my head, but I can put these in my hair and that'll be fun. I think that's everything. I'm gonna do some dyeing and then see where the evening takes me. I've spent the last like hour cleaning our like bathroom shelf and reorganizing it, so because I got some skincare products and I've had a real kick to get my skincare routine back. My skin's been really sensitive with the sun and hay fever, and I'm allergic to sun cream, but I tested a new one but had a reaction to it, so my skin's feeling very unloved right now, so I needed to give it some love. So I think I'm also going to pamper myself a bit this evening once I've fed up with whatever craft I choose. That really is it. So I think what's been holding me off wanting to do this sewing was that I had perfectly pattern matched the pocket and then realised it was wrong. So wanted to redo that, but I've realised I don't have enough of the fabric left over to do that. So I just have to keep going forward. I think I've slightly fallen out of love with this fabric. I think part of the reason though is that it is white. So I think basically what I'm going to do is dye it, but I'm going to do that once I've made it because that's the chaotic option and I don't want to dye it now and I want to keep sewing now. I am either going to find where the pattern matches and if the pockets look good enough there, I'll put them there, and if they don't look right there, I will put them where they're supposed to be and it will be what it is. That I think is where I wanted them to be. They should actually be here, which is just, they're just off and I think it'll annoy me. And I'm just gonna get on with the rest of the pattern. Oh, do you like my hair ribbons? I think they're a bit long. I think they'll annoy me eventually. So I might like trim them to about where my hair length is. And these ones are quite thick. I want to get some like really thin ones just to be able to wear on my hair more often. I really shouldn't be sitting on this. And it's very sunny. The sun is right there. It's now like 8 p.m. So I'm done for the day. I think I just fed Aslan and I also just remembered about the dye in the bath. So I'm draining those. I'm gonna wash those. I think the colour's looking pretty good. So I'm very happy with that. And I have not done as much as it looks like I've done from what I've pinned. Basically, I've just clipped, but essentially pinned these together because I made a slightly chaotic decision to go with the pattern matched pockets on the back because I figured A, if they're pattern matched, they won't look that visible, and B, it'll just annoy me otherwise, like I'd rather not have them, and C, I sketched over the images and I think it will be okay. So I've pinned them together. This is genuinely, I think these are going to be so cool. I think it'll be fine. So the pockets on the back, I don't know how well you can see, but I can see that they're basically just closer to the outside seam. I'm pretty happy with how these are coming along, but I am definitely done with them for today and going to go get ready for bed. I think I'm back to work tomorrow and I'm gonna need my sleep. I'll see you in a bit. Good morning. I'm not feeling fantastic this morning, but there's one way to cure that, and that is to dye some more things. I do love my clothes a lot more every time I do this, so zero regrets. I've put a little bit less yellow in this time, because when I did the t-shirts, I think I left them in for too long. I think the yellow dye sticks a lot better than the tan, but yeah, I'm not going to leave them as long this time, and I've put less yellow in, so hopefully it's just a little bit. I just don't want them to be white, you know? I just want them to be off-white. Just a little bit. But it's a process and we're perfecting it. The dyeing did not go very well, and I looked a bit closer at the t-shirts I did the other day, and they're also quite patchy, so I'm not feeling great about that. I will deal with it another time. I'm going out for dinner now, and trying to feel a bit better. My period started this morning, so I'm like emotionally all over the place. I'm just trying to be positive. Don't know what I'm doing with the camera, sorry. Trying to stay positive, trying to not put too much pressure on anything, which is difficult, but hey. I have been knitting on my camisole number 9 as well, and it's coming up quickly, although I remember from the last one, I do think the first bit goes a lot quicker because there's less stitches, and then I'll get to a point and it will be loads to do and take forever, but yeah. Right, I'm just rambling now. I'm off to dinner. Hello, it is nearly the end of the month. I thought I'd check in. I have started a very exciting project. I've also made some attempts at removing the colour from those t-shirts. It's not gone very well so far, but I think this afternoon I'm going to go into town and try and find some colour remover. I tried it once with some other garments that's not gone so well, but I think what I need to do is leave it in the hot water rather than use the machine method, because that seemed to not work at all. So I'm going to try a different method, and also some more of it. I only used 1 pack, so maybe if I use more of it. I've seen it work very well on other things on TikTok. I mean, like online, other people have seemed to be able to use it just fine. But in other news, like I said, I've started a new project. I'm still working on my camisole, but that is sort of going to be my traveling project, whereas this one is going to be my home project, at least for now, because this is the project bag. It's a bit too much yarn to be taking around with me, and also I am designing it myself, so it's going to take a bit of referencing some books I have and maths and things, so it's not really an on-the-go kind of project. It's going to be at home, but I am working through it at quite some speed. It is a raglan cardigan, but I wanted like a summer cardigan. I like having long sleeves in the summer because I get easy sunburn, and I'm allergic to every sun cream I've tried so far except one that is a face one, so I need to find a body one. But here is the progress so far. As I talked earlier in the month, I did a bunch of swatches, and then I sort of left it for a while because I didn't have the time or the space to do all of the maths and figuring it out. And then yesterday morning I just sat for probably about 4 hours and did all of the thinking required to do this project. I do not remember what I was saying because Will arrived home, and I'll insert a clip of that.
Hey girly pops! So I'm currently working on 89 different whips. You know what I really like about this one is the texture. Oh my days, the fabric! I wish you could feel it, but that's not possible. I wish you could see this material, but unfortunately that's not possible. But let me just describe it to you. It's a material. Let's bring Aslan in. This is my 6th whip. I just wanna like extend a bit down here. Well, that's what the whip wants. So what I'll be doing is just giving it lots of wet food. What do you think? Yeah, it agrees. All right, see you later, Gully Pops.
Anyway, I've been knitting this since yesterday and I am really loving it so far. I'm not 100% on how the collar is. If I have to undo it and redo the whole thing, we'll see. I wrote myself a pattern to follow. I didn't even know how to write it down because each row there's the raglan increases regular, and then I've got a little cable detail going on the stitches between, and then also the eyelets are going on at the same time. So there's a lot. I'm very happy with how it's looking. I'll probably finish it next month. So check out my knitting podcast if you want to stay up to date on that. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you've been working on in the comments and how your June went. I'd love to have a little chat. If you want to see how the unfinished projects from this month turned out, do subscribe. I have a knitting podcast, so I'll keep you up to date there, and I might do another one of these soon. Or you can follow me over on Instagram and TikTok because I tend to keep things more real time, up to date on there. But that's all for now, so I'll speak to you soon. Bye!